I see so many people making these 6 stupid mistakes every time that I walk into a gym, and it's exactly the reason why they are not getting better. Now, these mistakes is not just slowing you down if you're making them, they're literally killing your full progress and making you look crap as well. And you don't want to look crap, mate, do you? That's why you're watching these bloody videos, to help you get better. I know this because I've made some of these mistakes myself. And trust me, it bloody costs you big time if your goal is to get better. But don't worry, my friend, I'm going to call you out and call these people out on these mistakes and tell you exactly what you need to do to fix each one of them if you're making them. Now, first up is something that nearly everyone overlooks. Even I sometimes couldn't stand doing these things because it's repetitive, it's boring, and I used to skip it often. And mate, let me tell you, there's a high chance that you're missing this too in your training. But guess who is not making these bloody mistakes? Floyd Mayweather. Well, maybe because he's not training anymore, but he wasn't. Canelo Alvarez, Usyk, all of the great fighters swear by doing this. And it's a specific way of drilling. You can and you should be doing this every time you're in the gym, once you know exactly what it is you need to be drilling. For example, if your footwork is not feeling right, if you're not balanced, if you're getting tired every time you're moving around, you will need to dedicate just 6 minutes of each one of your training sessions working on the specific things to help you improve on them things. Now, 6 minutes might not sound like a lot, which it's not. But if you're training 3 times a week and dedicating 6 minutes to this specific thing, that's 18 minutes a week. Now, still, doesn't sound like a lot, but over 10 weeks, now we've just spent 3 hours working on your footwork, which isn't feeling good for you right now, and you're struggling with this. What's going to happen with that 3 hours of dedicated work? Well, my friend, you're going to get obviously better at that. When I was training for the Olympics, we would spend hours drilling the same movements, the same combinations. And it sounds boring, and it is boring. But when you're drilling these things, it's going to help them turn into muscle memory. This means you're able to do great things with your boxing without even having to think about it. Now, before I get on to mistake number 2 and 3, which if I was a betting man, I would probably bet that you're making these mistakes, I just want to keep on the topic of footwork. Because if you do perfect your feet, everything else in your boxing game will improve. Did you know that it's your footwork that helps you with the speed of punches, with the power of the punches, helping you with your coordination, helping you with your rhythm and your flow and everything else? But you might think, well, I don't know what drills to do with my feet. So that's why you should be working on specific footwork drills. Now imagine knowing exactly what you need to work on to be able to improve these feet, what drills that you should be doing, and having a big variety of unbelievable footwork drills that you can do every session. Well, now you can, because I've just created my Boxing Footwork Academy, where I don't just show you how to perfect your footwork and give you tons of amazing drills that you can use to reach your full potential with your footwork and showing you step by step how to do them. I also break down some of the best fighters in the world, looking at their footwork and seeing what they are doing. So you're not just taking my word from it, you'll be able to see the likes of Usyk, Canelo, and getting a great understanding of what you can do to be able to improve your footwork to be the best version of yourself. Now you can scan here, or you can go to boxingfitness.com/footwork and you can check it out right there. And you will see I've made this affordable so anyone can get it and access it. Now, mistake number 2 is something that you're probably doing. The reason I think that you're doing this mistake is because even after I had success in the Olympic Games, I was making this mistake too. And I'm shocked at how often I see boxers or people training boxing doing this, where they're literally suffocating themselves on the bags, in shadowboxing, in sparring, and I bloody did it as well. And I used to get really gassed out. My lips would go blue as well when I was doing this. And have you guessed what it is? Well, it's not breathing the right way. Now, and I'm not just talking about every time you punch, you should exhale, even make a noise, but I'm talking about how to breathe in between rounds. I'm talking about how to take control of your breathing. I'm talking about even before you get into the ring to spar, if you are sparring, and your heart is pumping fast because you've got some nervous energy in there. Controlling your breathing before then is a big thing that coaches don't really talk about. And I've created a full video on breathing you can watch after this one, but it's important that you are learning how to breathe throughout your full session. And if you're not breathing correctly, you're probably making mistake number 3 as well, which again, I see so many people doing. Boxing like a bloody statue. Boxing like someone's got a big old stick like this right up your Stop boxing like that, mate. Oh. You're too tense, you're too stiff, you're too slow. You're looking like a bloody robot, mate. Stop it. You need to be able to float like a butterfly. Have that rhythm, have that relaxation. Be able to float around the heavy bag, around the gym, in shadow boxing, on them toes, but staying relaxed and doing it the correct way. And by the way, I show you how to do all of this in my Boxing Footwork Academy, which I told you about, which will definitely help you with all of this stuff. But also what will help you is understanding why relaxation is key in boxing. Did you know that speed comes from relaxation? Did you know that power comes from relaxation? When I started to understand about relaxation, my punches were faster, my punches were more powerful, my combinations did flow together even better. And one thing that you can do to overcome this is when you are on the bags or in sparring and you're getting tight and you can feel yourself getting stiff, you know, it's okay to shake your arms out and shake your legs out. Yes, in sparring, it's okay to shake your arms out. Now, you might be thinking, Tony, you absolute knobhead. I used to think you knew lots about boxing, but after that comment, seeing I can put my hands down when I'm in the ring, that makes me think you know nothing about boxing. I'm unsubscribing from your stupid bloody YouTube channel. Oh, well, my friend, hold on before you hit that unsubscribe button, because it is totally fine to shake your arms out in sparring. It's actually okay to stand and put your hands behind your back like this in sparring. If you're out of range, if you're in range, you do never want to be shaking your arms out like this because you're going to get splattered in the bloody face. But if you're out of range, mate, do what you bloody want to do. Just make sure you've got your hands up when you're in range and you'll be fine. But actually, I wouldn't recommend standing with your hands behind your back like this. It's just disrespectful and not a good look. But you know the point that I was getting at there. But I just want to say, the 3 mistakes that I've went over so far, it's a waste of time fixing them if number 4 is not right. Because without number 4 getting right, you will end up punch drunk, my friend. And I've been in boxing gyms for years, and I've seen this time and time again, and it really grates on us. People are treating sparring sessions like bloody world title fights. If someone lands a heavy punch, then the other person lands a heavy punch, and the next thing you know, they're having a bit of a ding-dong in the ring. If the coach is a bloody idiot, which there is some bloody idiot coaches around which you will know about, he'll be standing there like laughing like, haha, look at these two having a fight. This is fun, isn't it? No, mate. It's not. But if he's a good coach, he'll stop the sparring and say, what are you doing, boys? We're in here to learn. Because after all, why do we spar? Well, we spar to learn. We don't spar to fight. We don't spar to win. We spar to bloody learn, to work on things in our game that we might need to improve. So just know that sparring is not about showing how tough you are and how I'm the toughest man in the gym and I can take a punch. You need to learn how to stay calm and react under controlled pressure. You should always be going into sparring sessions with clear goals, whether it's working on your jab, working on that defense, working on counter punches, and going at 50 to 70% of power. But you can also work on 100% speed, because you don't have to throw slow punches. You can throw fast punches, but keeping them light. So mate, control your ego. Now, if it's the other guy in the gym, that guy needs to control his ego. If not, you should tell the coach and have a word with the coach. And just be smarter about this, because trust me, the smarter you are about this right now, your future self will thank you. And you will thank me if you get rid of mistake number 5, what I'm going to talk about right now, because this will not only help you stay smart in the future with your brain or your marbles. And it's also going to help you look great as well, whether you've sparred or you've not sparred. But let me ask you this question. Have you ever been in the ring with someone for around like about a minute or 2 minutes? And then you're thinking, there's nothing I can do here. This guy's got me figured out. Every time I do this, he does that. This is probably because you are predictable, doing the same stuff, the same movements. You're in the same rhythm every single round, and you're easy to read. Now, I learned this the bloody hard way when I got put on my arse from a right hook. I was sparring Andy Lee when we were amateurs. Andy ended up winning world titles, and he hit me with a lovely boom, southpaw right hook right on the chin, and I dropped down to the ground for the first time in my full life, and the only time in my whole life as well. And the reason he caught me with that wasn't because he's a world-class fighter, which he is, by the way, but it was because I was being predictable. I was throwing a sloppy 1-2 and kind of looking for that right hand, because he's a southpaw, and I was dropping my left hand when I was throwing that. He seen that, and when this come down, boom, hit me with that right hook. I was being bloody predictable. And it was pretty embarrassing because I was European champion in Ireland sparring with him, and there was lots of people watching. And I remember I stood up off the floor from that and I was concussed, and the coach ended the sparring session, rightly so, because he wasn't a bloody idiot coach like what I was talking about earlier on. But it was a huge lesson that I learned, and from the thousands of rounds that I'd sparred, even the thousands of rounds I'd sparred after that, it never happened again because I learnt from that lesson. I learnt the bloody hard way. So I want to teach you this so you don't have to learn the hard way and get concussed and get put on your butt, be embarrassed in front of lots of people. So what do you need to do? You need to vary your rhythms, not just in sparring, but in shadow boxing, on the heavy bag, on the mitts, and doing different things all the time, being less predictable. Now, one thing that you can do in shadow boxing, which I get people who I coach to do, is for one round, try and throw a different punch or combination every single time. And it's going to really make your brain work and brain think. Now, for another round, what you can do is put a feint before everything you throw and a defense after. But I want a different defense after everything you throw. So you're here, you feint, you throw a combo, then you'll do a defense, whether it's a block or parry. There's so many different defenses out there. And what this sort of training is going to do, it's going to keep your brain thinking throughout the full session. It's going to work on that muscle memory, doing different things all the time. Then you should transfer that from shadow boxing onto the bags, from the bag to mitt work, from mitt work into the ring. It is great brain training. Now, if you're thinking about sparring or you currently do spar, stop. Don't spar ever again until you have watched this video right here. This tells you exactly how to spar the right way to improve. Click here and watch this video next.